everybody. My name's David Belknap, and here's a day in the life of a college student aspiring to be a physician's assistant. My day starts off bright and early at 6:15. I love getting up before the crack of dawn. I get ready and I got a little time before my first class, so I try and get some prep work done, make sure I'm prepared. And my first class of the day is physiology. Today was all about action potentials produced by photoreceptors. And I'm back home. I got a little time before my next class, so I do some more prep work for biochemistry. Today was all about glycolysis and the pentose phosphate pathway. After biochem, I'm back home, and you guessed it, more studying. And this really does take up the majority of my day, but I do try to make some time to make it to the gym, just to try and better myself for that day. And I'm back home, get cleaned up, and then the last study session of the day with my study buddy, just trying to get a few things done before I head to bed. And that's pretty much my entire day. But now you may be asking yourself, David, what about your day-to-day life makes you appealing to PA schools? And the truth is, absolutely nothing. I'm just like everybody else. I probably spend too much time studying, worrying about my next test, all the while not getting enough sleep, which is something I think we can all relate to. So why do I do it all over again, day in and day out? Well, let me just tell you where my inspiration started. It really starts with my dad. I should say, so he's also a PA, but he did things a little bit differently. He had a lot of different jobs over the years, but he ultimately decided to go back to PA school. But keep in mind, he's 31, 32 at the time, and has 6 kids. And I'm one of the older ones, so I knew what was at stake here. We moved back in with my grandma, all of us sharing this upstairs apartment, all 6 of us sharing one bedroom. So I was there to listen in on all the lectures that he had on CDs and go through the mountain of textbooks that he would bring home from school. I also remember test days very vividly. We'd wait up for my dad to get home to find out what score he got on his test, because that really determined whether he was going to make it or not. So long story short, he finished PA school and he actually finished one of the top in his class. All the while, he made it to all the piano recitals, basketball games, football games, soccer games that honestly weren't that entertaining. We were just a bunch of kids. Ultimately, his position as a PA has blessed me tremendously. It's opened a lot of doors. I've gone to shadow him, other PAs, nurse practitioners, doctors, and what started as just a kid just wanting to be like his dad over the years developed into my own passion for medicine. Along with that passion, I developed a lot of other characteristics along the way. And like I mentioned before, I played a lot of sports. And between basketball, football, soccer, whatever else, I've done it all. Whether that was a leadership position, a role player, or just another guy on the bench. But one thing I can say that was consistent between all sports, and if you asked the teammates that I played with, one thing that was is I never complained. Now, never is a strong word, but when I did complain, it didn't help me and it didn't help anybody else, so why do it? And at the end of the day, you really got to make the most out of the cards that you were dealt, and that's really what I did. And something that I had learned over time. It wasn't easy. Now, that's a lesson that I know is applicable to any workspace or school setting. You want to work with somebody that, even if everything's not going their way, they're still going to be pleasant to work with. And while we're on the topic of work environment, you've probably at some point had someone knock on your door trying to sell you something. And that's been me the past few summers. I'm a door-to-door salesman. Now, for anyone who's done it, knows that it's not for the faint of heart. You're going to spend most of your day with people that really don't want you there and are downright rude. If there was ever a job that taught you resiliency, it would be door-to-door sales. I've been doing it for a while, so I've had my own leadership positions. I've learned how to do it myself. I had people that helped me along the way, and I've done the same for others. I know how to deal with uncomfortable situations. I know how to de-escalate a situation, which I know I'm going to run into as someone that's dealing with patients.
Really what I'm trying to get at is between my own experiences with my family and the characteristics I've developed from work ethic, resilience, patience, I would make a valuable asset to any school that I attend or any medical staff that I have the pleasure of being a part of. And I'm really excited about my future. I'm confident in my own abilities, and thanks for listening.